What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, to King Renaissance, and another exciting day. What do we have today? I think we have the seventh episode. Okay, so for people who are super familiar with most of my videos so far, you guys know I've been basically coming up with steps to get back to greatness, and basically what that means is if you're someone who has just fell off or has been having a difficult time getting yourself back to a better version of yourself, I feel like that's something that I've been experiencing, amongst other things, setbacks and things like that. Really had some huge pitfalls, and so I just really had a difficult time finding my way back. So I had to get a therapist and just research a lot of information on how to pull yourself out of the darkness or just a really big setback. And sometimes you can go through things and, you know, you have your, typical ways to, find yourself back in a good space, good energies and things like that. But then there's other times where you're just like, it's going to take more than just your own self figuring it out. And so that's what I'm doing. And where I thought 7 steps would do it, starting out at least, I realized I needed a little bit more time. So that being said, what I've come up with as of today and a few weeks ago, leading up to today, I realized, okay, I'm gonna have to take this step by step. So as of right now, I think I can do a few more episodes and I could be back there, so just bear with me. Right now I'm calling it the 10.1 step to greatness for me, okay? Because you may need more steps. You could just be learning from the steps that I speak about, and you can add that to something that works for you. But 10.1 basically means we're on the 7th episode right now, and there's 3 more to go, and then that extra one is really like 11 steps. But what I want to do is my last step. I want to just walk into that space where I'm already kind of liberated, if that makes sense. So that's why I called it 10.1. But I'm gonna try not to speak too much on it because I might need more time. And sometimes that's just the way it goes. Whatever you need to do, however much time you need to get things right, if you have the luxury of doing that, then why not get it right the best way that you can. And so that's what I'm doing. So I noticed something, and as I was going over my notes before I started this filming here, I noticed the last piece of information. It was definitely really set for the last episode. So of me just being back on track and just fully liberated and all that good stuff, just feeling like I'm back in greatness. But I don't feel like that right now. But I will say, I've been vlogging the past 2 days, and so you can check out my other channels. I have King Renaissance Talents. I got King Renaissance TV. So I already did those vlogs these past 2 days, and so now I'm knocking King Renaissance out with my motivational speaking and things like that. So yeah, I have been feeling pretty good. This was like the first, I would say, out of all my episodes I've done so far, getting back to greatness, I feel like this is definitely one of the most exciting ones. I don't know. I still don't know exactly why, but I just feel like maybe because I'm getting closer and closer. And I felt like that at first. you know, when I just was knocking out a lot of videos, but I was just still in this discouraging headspace where things just was not looking up. But for some reason, I felt really good when I was recording these past couple days. So that's a good sign, because I feel like maybe I might pull off this 10.1. I might pull that off, because I really would love to just walk into the new year already in a great place. You know, there'll always be, well, I don't want to say always, but there may always, for the most part of your life, I do feel like challenges, they'll just come like the weather, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, sometimes some people are blessed to reach a part in their life where they're not really going through cycles, you know what I'm saying? So, but for most of us, you know, yes, these challenges comes just like the weather, you know what I'm saying? So, I feel like, you know, that being said, I feel like whether I'm walking into the new year or not, you know, challenges, you know, seem to, you know, have its own power, right? And we just do our best to get around it, you know. And so, but it would be nice. It would be nice for me to just be in a really good energy walking in. I would love to just like get to just a few months under my belt to just, you know, feel that greatness and just walk into the new year and then obviously just keep it going. So, if not, you know, I'll take, you know, the last week. I don't care, you know. I'm going to fight for it, and we'll see how many episodes it's going to take for me to get to that point, whether it's a few months going in or a few weeks going into the new year. So, but my goal is to definitely, like, you know, just get something going for myself. A few weeks wouldn't be the end of the world walking into the new year, but, you know, we'll see. So anyhow, 7th episode, and what are we speaking about today? How to cultivate what did I put here? How to cultivate an abundance mindset while treating, investing, and spoiling yourself to support a sense of abundance, peace, joy, and tranquility in your life. So you can kind of see where this last step was headed to, right? This would have been really beautiful for, and maybe I might revisit this. You know what I'm saying? I might revisit this, but I think what I'll do is maybe I'll reshape it a little bit for the last episode. We'll see. But I still think it's good information to go ahead and just spread, because why not? And it's crazy because like I said, I was already feeling super excited for some reason out of all the times that I've been vlogging, and I may smile and feel, you know, show you guys, you know, somewhat of positive energy, but I have a high pain tolerance, very thick skin, emotionally, and I've been known to smile through the craziest challenges, you know, that life can throw at you. Knock on Jesus wood, you know. But so yeah, anyhow, I don't want to keep on dancing around a lot of things, but yeah, this episode, maybe I'll revisit it, but I have been feeling pretty good. So yeah, it's still kind of cool to be speaking about it, because yeah, like I said, I have been in a pretty good space these past couple of days. So anyhow, I also want to add that, and forgive my delayed effort on all my other videos. If you've looked inside of the link, or the what the Dropbox, whatever you want to call it, underneath the video, where you're looking at the detailed information description. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. If you're looking inside of the description area of these videos that I've been posting, where I'm supposed to be, you know, putting in the information, the links where you can find these other authors that are, this is the information that I've been not only getting, but paraphrasing my own philosophies inside of their body of work. You know, for the ones that may want to look it up, I am going to get to it, you know, I'm going to get to it. But in the video, I am expressing and explaining, giving the details of the names of the authors that deserves the credit. So just keep that in mind if you want to look them up. In the meantime, then you can do that. So, all right. So, who do we have here? Ingrid Fattel Lee. Okay, so eventually I'll have her information, in the description below. And here we go. All right. So don't be afraid to cultivate a life full of abundance for yourself. And maybe you might have to unlearn and eliminate the fears that come or that could be holding you back from doing so. Unlearning a scarcity mindset doesn't happen overnight, and neither does creating an abundance mentality. For some people, this could take years to work at because it's such an entrenched way of thinking, especially when it can be so foreign to you through unrelatable life experiences. This scarcity can often sneak into your mind daily, weekly, or even monthly. Here are some simple shifts and practices that may help to reframe your thinking on how to develop an abundance mindset. Okay, so one of the things that keeps us stuck in a scarcity mentality is that it's so easy to think about what we don't have, and so hard to remember all that we do. Okay, focusing on gratitude helps tip the scales back in the other direction, focusing your attention on the abundance that already exists in your life. As you practice gratitude for the things in your life, the joy you find in those things increases. This builds a foundation for an abundance mindset because it lets you come from a place of already having abundance as opposed to coming from a place of lack and insufficiency. Okay, so like I said, there's more information here, and I'm gonna kind of go back into some things because I want to read it over again and then add some more take on what I feel a lot of this information means. So, all right. So don't be afraid to cultivate a life full of abundance for yourself. And maybe you might have to unlearn and eliminate the fears that could be holding you back from doing so. Okay. So what I got from this and what I decided to put into this message is that whether you are struggling with this or not, sometimes if you are a people pleaser and you're this overachiever in ways that like you put yourself last. For me, what can happen is that like you get so used to like not only, putting other things first, putting other people first, that you can find yourself lost in this mindset where you feel like what you're doing now is what you're supposed to do. And sometimes if you're under the wrong power, people can play on that. And they can use that amazing power that you have to manipulate these types of efforts as if this is what you are supposed to do. Okay? Now I'm going somewhere with this, so stay with me. As this type of behavior builds through time, months, and years, you could find yourself not only believing this, but it can turn into a behavior that you can't really reverse. And then you have all these different types of things running in your mind on why you shouldn't start um, cultivating your life, your mind, your all of your efforts that makes you a better person, that makes life easier for you, that brings you victory in many ways, versus putting other people first. Okay, so when it says don't be afraid to cultivate a life full of abundance for yourself, where does that come from? How did you find yourself being afraid to do that? For me, I felt like I just got into a routine for so long being a people pleaser that people took advantage of that power, and started finding ways to where it was almost like, in order to keep me working this way at this job, or to keep me being this type of best friend, or to keep me behaving this way in a relationship, it was like I always felt like they had some type of way of making me believe and feel that, like, you know what, actually, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And you're kind of slipping out of that, finding and understanding your worth, and they'll start having issues with your change. And so what happens is you feel like it's against your nature. It's against your nature to, because it is. It is against your nature if you've been doing this for so long. And so it's feeling not right. And because of that, you're feeling like what you're doing is wrong. What you are doing is, maybe you're looking at it, for me, I looked at, if I don't be this way, my job isn't going to value me, the way that they do with others. I don't want to lose my job, or my best friend, may just go the other way, and I don't have any best friends. I don't make friends that easily because, it just doesn't happen. Or the relationship thing. Maybe you don't, maybe you're too in love with, the company of a relationship. And so you don't want to mess that up, and you got this relationship based on how much of a super people pleaser that you are, just denying yourself and worshiping all these other things, people, all these other opportunities in life that doesn't really help you. There's no return. You haven't been experiencing anything in return, that you probably deserve, and so I feel like, when I'm reading this, and maybe you might have to unlearn and eliminate the fears that could be holding you back from doing so. Yeah. Then it's like, hey, how can I unlearn this? How can I turn this around? How can I pull the fear off of this? Counseling, researching things, reading books, and just taking small steps. Okay, really taking small steps. And so let me go to this one part that I was gonna leave out, and maybe I might be able to read this in. Okay, so yeah, I don't want to speak about that, but what I do like in this passage is saying, one note of importance here: start small. Now, I was gonna go into some other things with that passage, but still perfect for, like, you don't know how you're gonna, turn things around. We all know, like, when we go through certain things and we, may see the problem in other areas, other people, right? That we also have to start looking at ourselves and saying, okay, there are other things that are the bigger problem, but what can I do to turn this around? What is it about myself that can not only change things, but what is it about myself that could also be um, sort of the not the full, but sort of the determining factor of why things aren't just going your way that you deserve. So I feel like when you start discovering those things, like I said, through therapy, researches of like, just reading books, or, maybe you're Googling things, maybe you're YouTubing things, like, there's great information there, free information. I say it all the time in most of my videos, like, you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money on therapy. It's it's so much YouTube University information out there. It's crazy, for free. So, yeah, try to, take small steps, and yeah, I just think that, like, when you're cultivating your mind for your mindset of abundance, treating yourself, investing, spoiling yourself, this is a lot of this is supposed to be about, like, finishing up and actually, liberate myself fully. But, it's still great information in here. Support a sense of abundance, peace, joy, all that stuff is awesome, man. Your peace, your joy, there's be surprised, if you're into chakras, man, there's, traditional 7 types of chakras that, like, could be blocked, and that's not, allowing your peace and joy to flow, and so, and many other things. So, it's just, just one step at a time, taking small steps, but stay consistent, a lot of this information that I shared, I mean, I can go into more details, but let me see, do I want to go into more? Let's see here. Unlearning a scarcity mindset doesn't happen overnight. It sure doesn't. And neither does creating an abundance mentality. For some people, this could take years to work at, because it's such an entrenched way of thinking. It's, if you get so deep into, like, being a certain way, what I'm saying, where it's like, it's not benefiting yourself, and you're not being the best version of yourself. What did it say here? Because it's such an entrenched way of thinking. It can become, like, you could have been the type of person like myself, born and raised to have, like, the best, ways of living and treating human beings, the way we all should be treated, love, kindness, respect, all that stuff, just being positive, making, good decisions in life. And then, you walk down the wrong, it's like you walk down the wrong street, and, you've been safe walking to the same destination in life, back and forth, and all of a sudden you took a shortcut, and it was the wrong shortcut. Okay, so it's like, hey, how do we get ourselves back on track? How do we start thinking in a way to where it's not like you feel like, what to say, because it's such an entrenched way of thinking. Like, how did it even get to that point? Especially for people that never had issues with this type of thinking, and if it's new for you, then maybe it's like, maybe it is, maybe this could seem like, how do I ever find myself actually living my best life? And what does that even look like? To me, I feel like living your best life is, I like to call it the A&B lifestyle. I don't know if I spoke about this before, but there's a book at some point I know I'll be writing, the A&B lifestyle. It's basically, how in grade school you get A's and B's, with, anything from 80 to 90% on your assignments, and 90 to 100% for A's on your assignment. And so the A&B lifestyle is like, for most of the months and the years that you are living, each year, each decade, there should be a percentage of happiness, joy, the best version of yourself that you are getting 80-90% of the time. You know, when you look at it, it's like when you're in school and you're trying to get the best grades to, do well for yourself, right? No matter how things may become difficult on certain pop quizzes and tests, midterms, exams, all that stuff that, like, oh man, I got a C minus, or you may even get a D or an F, but you're not trying to repeat that though, right? You're not trying to repeat that because you're trying to do well for yourself. And so you're going to keep pushing and working hard to get those A's and B's. And some people shoot for straight A's, so, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that because you're trying to live your best life. You're trying to do the best that you can for yourself, because there's great results out of that, right? And so I feel like, when you are shooting for that in your life, that's good stuff. And so I feel like if you're not getting that, you got to figure out how to turn that around. You got to figure out how that can work out for you. Give me a second. All right, so yeah, so that's what you have to do. And I feel like you just got to be on it, man, because no one's gonna help you. I don't want to say no one. There's circles out there, some people aren't religious, so everyone isn't perfect in religious communities, you know what I'm saying? But your pickings and your safety is gonna be it's gonna be a lot more of a hit than a miss, and so, but there's other communities and organizations that you can involve yourself, within, that will bring you that safety, have that support system, in your life, where you can cultivate your mind this way. You can have an abundance, be around people that have those mindsets. And now that can be hard, because if you're looking in the wrong area, it's like trying to, you're looking for, an amazing looking home in the wrong community, right? You may find it, but it's going to be difficult, right? So I feel like same thing goes for, like, when we're speaking about friends here, support system. This is something that I feel like I probably would have not gone through half of the things I've gone through if I had a better support team around me, that had the same type of kind soul. You know what I'm saying? I was swarming around devils, demons. You hear me? Like real ass fucking demons. Like just, 6 God type demons. Like just straight side, top chosen snipers out of Satan's arsenal. You feel me? I'm reaching for analogies because that's how bad it really has been for me. And, when you've had enough, you got to really, really not just fight hard, you got to fight smart. And when you put yourself in when you want it bad enough, you start to work a little smarter. And you start to figure out ways you got to want it bad enough. And you do need help. Because sometimes, man, like you can, some people can really want it bad, but maybe the fight isn't hard, maybe whatever it is, man, reach out to people, man. That's why I do videos like this. This could really help somebody. This could truly help somebody. It may not help millions of people. I may not ever have millions of subscribers. Don't matter. Because I could still help a dozen of people, hundreds of people in an amazing way. And they could end up, helping millions of people. Domino effect. The chain reaction. I'm a part of the other person, helping millions of people. It's all connected. So, we're 30 minutes in, and I know I can talk more and more about this. Let me just read through this more, and then let's see what we got here. So, for some people, this could take years, I'm interested in thinking, especially when it can be so foreign to you. through unrelatable life experiences, yeah, you may not be able to relate to some of these things, that I spoke about, as far as like getting yourself out, to free yourself and protect yourself. The scarcity can often sneak into your mind daily, weekly, or even monthly. And okay, so let me see. And this is gonna talk about. So let me speak on that. Yeah. So be careful who you're around, because, like, I call it like witchcraft sometimes, and people may not be intentionally doing this to you, but intentional or unintentional, it's happening. Okay. And we got to get a change going. You got to get a fucking change going. You just got to fucking do it, or you're going to fucking die. Okay. Not the way you want to, nobody really want, but just saying, so, it's crazy. When I was reading that part, it's like this scarcity can often sneak into your mind. Sneak, when I hear, how that was put together, to sneak, I just feel like that's the odds of life. If we want to take it from a separate, religious or spiritual standpoint, like, yeah, just the odds, of the universe, just the crazy, unfortunate, unlucky path that you're taking. Okay, so spiritual or not, well, it's happening, and we got to make a change. And so I still feel like there are people out here. It's the people. I say this a lot, like, besides the weather, every now and then, even the weather ain't as bad as people. You hear what I'm saying? The weather come and go like a few times. You get some crazy disasters happening. And in some places, you don't see it for like years. But people, they're going to hit you with that, boy, quite a few times on the daily. You hear me? And so it can be real lonely, you know what I'm saying, to just like set yourself apart and figure out how you're going to protect yourself and stay safe. Because when you're trying to get ahead, when you're trying to be safe, when you're trying to keep your peace and your joy, trying to be the best version of yourself, sometimes it's just going to take you changing some things that it may not be that comfortable to do, but it's probably the only way that you're going to get around it. So I don't want to have this video too long. I hope you guys enjoyed that seventh episode or whatever. Maybe it's not the 7th episode, but it's definitely 7th step. And so back into greatness, back into, being the best version of yourself. And I think that, like, videos like this is very, very not only motivating but important, because, when they say health is wealth, it's hard to enjoy the amazing things that is about yourself, the amazing things that you've accomplished, amazing things that you enjoy doing, when your health is just raining on your parade, right? And so I think that that's something that has to be at the top of the list, making sure that, we are all keeping our mental health intact, and keeping it safe, and applying all of that joy and carrying it into all the other things that you enjoy doing, and many things that you're accomplishing. So I hope this video reaches anybody who needs it. We out here. Yeah, and so we're going to keep it going. I'll see what other things I'm going to talk about, and I'm definitely excited to take you guys on the journey of, like, other things I'm doing with my other episodes on other channels. King Renaissance Talents, King Renaissance TV, self-caring on myself and things like that. Check it out if you like, whether it's in the description below, or you're going to search it out on TikTok and Instagram, because I have those 2 other platforms with other channels. And here. You can subscribe, hit the bell if you like, share the video if you think you want, there's somebody out there that would love to hear it, and give me some tips, give me some feedback, or maybe it's something that I could talk about, or maybe just sending love and appreciation. No matter what, just take the good information, and stay safe out there, and tune in to my next video. And yeah, all right, thanks for tuning in, Kink Renaissance, and talk to you later.